A pleasant morning, children. Yes, you're right. We have come here, or we are here to discuss about the next continuation of the chapter. Yes, we stopped in the previous time, the previous lesson. It is about irrigation. So let us recall some things from that. What is irrigation? By this time, when you are listening to me, when you are hearing to me, you will be very much aware of that. What is irrigation? That is, it is watering the plants at different intervals of time. Depends on season to season, and it depends on crop to crop. So this is what today we are going to deal with. So let us see the methods of irrigation. There are traditional as well as modern. So first, the traditional one is mode. That is the pulley system. Look at the diagram, children. See, a person is drawing water from the well, pouring it on the floor where he has created a bund, and through that the channels, the water is flowing. So this is one of the traditional method. Second method, chain pump. Look at the diagram, the picture. Yes, you can see that buckets are connected to the chains and it's rotating, and through the water source it's moving, collecting, pouring, collecting, pouring. Okay, then comes dhekli. Dhekli is also a traditional method which is followed or was followed. In some of the remote areas, it's still followed, I guess. Dhekli. Look at it. To one end, a weight is hanged. In the middle, there is a lever. And on other side, bucket or in which we collect water. So this lever and the weight works in such a mechanism, and it withdraws water from the well. Now, the fourth one, rahat. Rahat is the technique in which the bull will be pulling water from the well. Okay, look at the diagram. Yes. So these are the different techniques or traditional methods which we were following. Now let us come to the modern methods. As I said in the previous classes, there are two modern techniques that you have to learn. One is sprinkler irrigation, another one drip irrigation. Look at the diagram, children. See, you can see from the sprinkler there is a nozzle attached and how the water is spurting out to all the direction. Look. Yeah, I hope it's clear. Then the second one, drip. This you might have seen where the water is very, very scarce, where we won't get enough water supply. Those who have been to Gulf or some other places where very water less supply is there, you can see that the water is dropping drop by drop. So this, where the scarcity of water is there, we can use this method. Now let us discuss about the fifth technique or the fifth method. It is about preventing our crop from weeds. Now the question comes, what is weed? What is weed? You'll be thinking that in your mind. Yes, yeah. Weed means unwanted plant growing along with the crop. Very simple example I'll tell you. If or sometimes accidentally when you pass in car or when you walk along the countryside, you can see along with the paddy means rice plant, right? Along with that you can see the grasses growing. Grasses. So what is unwanted over there? Yes, it's grass. Grass is not at all needed there. So what? You'll pluck and throw it. So this is what called weed. Any plant which is not needed for a crop or growing along with the crop, any unwanted, let me underline that word, okay, it's called weed. Okay, and how these weeds come actually? Can anyone think how it comes? Yes, it can come through various agents like wind, water, animals, birds. So these are the agents who bring and drop the seeds of the weeds and make it grow there. Okay, then you will be thinking, what is the problem if the weeds are there? Yes, there is a problem. You know what happens? The weeds will absorb the nutrients which we put for the crop. They will not be able to get it as a whole. I mean the crop. The crop will not get, so they have to compete for that. They have to fight for that. They have to crave for that. Give me my food. The crop will be demanding because weeds are absorbing the half. Okay, so it's very necessary, my dear children. It is one of the most important practices, the fifth practice, that is protection from weeds. We have to remove it. Otherwise, it will take the space of the plant where the crop has to grow. It will consume the water, sunlight, nutrient, everything. It won't allow the crop to be healthy. It will consume the maximum nutrient and the farmer won't get that much expected yield what the farmer was planning in the beginning. So this fifth practice is very important. Okay, weeds, how we can remove it? Since we are discussing about weeds, how we can remove it? First thing I told you, we can remove it by hand. That is, with the help of hand we can pick it and throw it. And there are certain implements like harrow, Harrow, harrow. So with that we can remove the weed. Okay, nowadays the growth of the weed is controlled by spraying weedicides. We spray weedicides. One of the example given in your textbook is 2,4-D. It is a weedicide which inhibits, it is a chemical which inhibits the growth of unwanted weeds. See, look at the picture, dear children. You can see these two people wearing masks and carrying cylinders on the back and spraying. What is that? It is weedicide, right? So they are doing with the help of these equipments. Now weedicide is over. Now we are coming to the next step, that is the sixth step. It is harvesting. We can call harvesting as well as threshing. Harvesting and threshing. Let us see. Now after spraying weeds, killing them, weedicide and killing them, now the crop is ready. We can see that when the crop is matured, what is the color? Does it change color? Anybody seen that? The green colored paddy seeds, it changes into yellow, right? Yellow, brown. So that is the time. What is that time? What is that time? What we have to do with the crop? It is the time when we have to cut. How do we cut it? What is this equipment or the instrument called? A knife like. What is it? The shape will be like this. It is called sickle. Sickle, S-I-C-K-L-E. Sickle. We used to cut, and this cutting of crop is called harvesting. So my dear children, when the crop is matured, we will harvest it, okay, with the help of sickle. But nowadays, my dear children, there is a machine, there are machines which are used to harvest, and we call it as harvester. Okay, now harvesting is over. After that, what you have to do? What we have to do? After harvesting, what we have to do? Yes, we have to dry it, we have to do still other processes. So first what we will do after harvesting, that crop which we have harvested now will be dried. Okay, it will be dry. And in traditional times, with the help of bullocks, buffaloes, camels, they walk on it. They walk on it so that the skin or other things are removed from the seed. So harvesting, and the next step is drying, and in this process these bullocks and other people are involved. Okay, now then another process is there, it's called winnowing. It's called winnowing. You know what? Grains are separated from the chaff, the unwanted part, okay, chaff, with the help of wind. Wind will be blowing from one side, and a person standing on an upright on a high place, and he will be doing like this. So what happens? The seeds will be falling near and the waste will be moving away. So that is happening, okay. And the whole process of separation of grain from the harvested crop is known as threshing. Okay, and in big farmers use huge machines. It's known as combines. In the textbook, my dear children, the diagram is there. The diagram is there in the textbook. We call it as combines. So my dear children, the diagram, once again let me tell you, please do refer the textbook, read the textbook, underline it, highlight it. That is very important. Without reading the textbook, you can't get a big source. It's a big source, okay, it's a big source of things. Fine. Now look at this diagram. See what is happening. The people are harvesting. You can see that the farmers in the field, they are harvesting, and there is a combine machine. See that? Isn't it? It's a machine, right? It is a machine used for threshing, right? Yes. Now it is festival time. Oh my God, you'll be thinking, what is this? Sir is talking about festival. Yes, my dear. Now harvesting, everything is done. Now people all over India, they celebrate this harvest. We have special festival in India. Pongal. Find out from where it is. Pongal, Baisakhi, Holi, Diwali, Bihu, and in Keralam, what is it in Kerala? Kerala, what is it? Yes. What is the harvest festival? You are right. What you are thinking is right. Now the last step in the agriculture practice is what? Storage. Okay. We should store the grains properly. Otherwise, you know what will happen, children? It will be damaged. Why do we store? So that in the upcoming days, upcoming years, upcoming months, we can use it. That is the main purpose of storage. Okay, so dried grains are stored in gunny bags and placed in proper ventilated cemented halls. In the textbook, some of the diagrams are given there, pictures I mean. Please do refer it, okay. And we call where the cemented halls are there, and we call it's properly ventilated, we call it as godowns. Okay, here farmers keep their dry stuff stored in this, and they sometimes use the big metallic bins. Okay, and when the grains are stored in large, what you call the storage vessel, we call it as silos. Okay, and large scale storage of grains is done in silos and as well as granaries. Okay, for storing large scale of food stuff, large scale of dried stuff, we have big godowns. Why? Because see, now what is happening now? When we are not cultivating, we were not having, we all thought we will have scarcity for food. But it has not happened. Why? Because the year before what they, or even before, what the farmers have cultivated, we have stored it. We have enough stored it. So that is the why we are able to use it. Now, yeah, dear children, look at this slide. What is it? Yeah, you can see the sacks, the big silos, right? All this is stored kind of food stuff in that. Okay, so these are the agricultural practices that we follow. Okay, now once again I hope you remember how we discussed in the first class. It was about animal husbandry. Here you can see a slide. See, what is it? Food is also obtained from animals, for which animals are reared and provided with proper food, shelter and care. And when this is done in large scale, we call it as animal husbandry. My dear children, so we have come to the conclusion of the chapter. So there are some things that I expect from you to do it. First, read the chapter very carefully. Use pencil or highlight to highlight the points. Third one, we will be discussing question answers in our interactive lessons. Okay, in our interactive classes, we'll be discussing. So at that time, I expect all my students to unmute the mic and speak the answers. I know that you all are wonderful children and you will all answer. With that hope, we are concluding this chapter and thank you.